The Bible tells us in Exodus 15, it talks about Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea.
The sonar detected unusual shapes on the ocean floor. They looked too regular and perfect to be natural rocks. When the underwater drones moved down, they captured amazing images. The clear outline of chariot wheels, partially buried in sand and covered in coral. This shows a chariot wheel. There are about 20,000. We've also found a few horse hooks. At that moment, the salvage divers realized they had discovered something significant in the Red Sea. They were looking for the lost army of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, and it seems they found it. But this remarkable find comes with a severe warning that makes everyone anxious. A tomb of sand and coral. A recent discovery has stunned many. A team of salvage divers used advanced sonar technology and remote submarines to revisit the spots Ron Wyatt identified over 40 years ago. Wyatt claimed he had found Egyptian chariot wheels on the seabed of the Red Sea, but many people dismissed his claims for years. This team, however, was determined to uncover the truth. While searching the Gulf of Aqaba, they began to pick up strange metallic signals beneath the coral-covered seabed. At first, people thought these might be debris from old shipwrecks, but as the divers explored deeper, they discovered unusual shapes, clean lines and sharp edges that resembled chariot wheels, seemingly frozen in time. Up close, the details were striking. They found at least 3 distinct wheel shapes, each covered in coral, showing classic 4-spoke designs from ancient Egyptian military chariots. One wheel even had a subtle golden shimmer, almost untouched by time. The divers felt a chill. This wasn't just junk. It could change our understanding of ancient history. As they continued diving, they uncovered more fragments, pieces of axles, metal scraps, and remnants of chariot frames. They also found bones, human and horse, scattered around as if a frantic escape had occurred. Each discovery echoed Wyatt's earlier claims, which had often been ridiculed. One diver remarked, "This is bad news," and indeed it was. The materials were degrading quickly. Salt water, currents, and silt were causing them to crumble. These artifacts were too delicate to bring to the surface without damaging them. Sonar mapping revealed an extensive debris trail stretching nearly a mile, indicating not just 1 or 2 chariots, but possibly an entire fleet. Experts confirmed that the metal parts matched what was used in late Bronze Age Egypt. Cleaning up the coral was daunting and could destroy the artifacts. But the sonar images were clear. They showed 4- and 6-spoke wheels and deeply jammed axles that indicated these were Egyptian war chariots. For believers, this was awe-inspiring. Evidence of Pharaoh's army from the Exodus, lying beneath the waves. Skeptics were left wondering if they had overlooked something significant all along. The bad news comment rang true. The artifacts disappeared before the divers' eyes. What remained were fragile shadows, slowly disintegrating under the sea. Yet there might still be more waiting to be discovered below. What they found next, far more personal than metal and wood. In late 2024, a group of skilled salvage divers and ocean technology experts secretly gathered in Aqaba, Jordan. Their mission was to explore a forgotten area of the Red Sea near Nuweiba Beach, Egypt. They weren't just looking for sunken ships or treasures, they aimed to investigate a long-standing story involving explorer Ron Wyatt. Wyatt claimed he saw the chariot wheels of Pharaoh Ramesses II on the ocean floor, but most people dismissed his story. This team believed it could be true and wanted to find out for themselves. They had advanced technology worth over $10 million, including 3D seabed mapping sonar, deep-sea drones with high-quality cameras, and sensitive metal detectors. However, before they could start, they faced significant obstacles. Many government officials and university leaders dismissed their plans as nonsense. One antiquities expert even said there was nothing but coral and crackpots there. They also received strong warnings. Don't disturb those waters. Marine laws are strict. It seemed like someone wanted to keep them away from that area. Despite the pushback, the team was determined. They received support from a quiet group of wealthy individuals interested in biblical archaeology. These backers believed in Wyatt's stories and liked to keep their involvement secret. They planned for months, obtaining geological survey permits to disguise their true mission. When the mission began, a drone operator discovered a horse skull buried in seagrass. Tests revealed it matched an ancient Egyptian breed used for pulling royal chariots, which was surprising. However, things quickly took a turn for the worse. A diver reported a problem, and then his helmet feed showed something shocking: human bones. There were hundreds of bones scattered around, including skulls and spines tangled with coral and broken wood. It wasn't just remnants of a shipwreck. It appeared to be a gravesite from a long-ago disaster. The discovery transformed their hunt into a significant archaeological find. The big question remained: who provided the specific coordinates for this site? Wyatt's Holy Grail. Many people interested in the story of Pharaoh's drowned army keep returning to one name: Ron Wyatt. He was the first explorer to claim evidence by saying, "I found the wheels." To his supporters, he is a brave pioneer, but to skeptics, he is seen as a fraud. Regardless of opinions, his story remains popular. Many overlook that Wyatt was not a trained archaeologist or a history professor. He had no license to dig or advanced degrees. He worked as a nurse and anesthetist in Tennessee, helping to keep patients unconscious during surgery. However, he firmly believed that the Bible was a source of inspiration and a guide to real history, including miracles. In the 1970s, Wyatt began to focus on proving the stories in the Bible. He found funding from friends, church members, and small donors, but didn't receive big grants. His methods were unconventional. On his early adventures, he claimed to have found Noah's Ark on Mount Ararat in Turkey and the true Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia, claiming it was still scorched black from God's fire. Each discovery gained him more attention, but also more skepticism. The most notable moment was 1978, when Wyatt visited Nuweiba Beach with basic scuba gear and no official support. Armed only with Bible verses and his firm belief, he dove into the Gulf of Aqaba and claimed to see shapes that looked like ancient Egyptian chariot wheels. He even reported finding bones from humans and horses, some appearing crushed. One of the most astonishing claims was that he saw a gold-plated chariot wheel. However, Wyatt's claims fell apart when he couldn't provide proof. He did not have any scientifically validated photos or peer-reviewed studies. Despite all his stories, no artifacts were ever recovered. Major institutions rejected his work, denying him digging permits and refusing to publish his findings, citing his methods as unprofessional and overly based on faith rather than facts. Yet, Wyatt's story continued to grow, kept alive by blurry pictures and low-budget documentaries. To his supporters, he is viewed as a modern prophet chosen to affirm the miraculous events of the Bible. If he found evidence of those stories underwater, why did he leave it undiscovered, allowing others to reinterpret the stories? Why the artifacts stay buried? Wyatt's story raises an important question. Why didn't he bring the valuable artifacts to the surface for everyone to see? He claims the waters of the Gulf of Aqaba act like a protective vault that keeps what's inside safe. He gave 4 main reasons that make you think. First, he talked about the coral. He said the wheels and bones were covered by a hard layer that helped preserve them but made them fragile. One wrong move could destroy them. Second, there's the risk of bringing them up. Wyatt believed the seabed was both a tomb and a time capsule. If you removed them and exposed them to air and sunlight, they could quickly break down, leaving only fragments and many unanswered questions. Third, he addressed legal issues. The Gulf of Aqaba is in Egypt, and strict laws regulate archaeology in that area. If you take an artifact without permission, you risk facing serious legal consequences. There's no legal way to show off the artifacts without risking jail time. Finally, he mentioned a golden chariot wheel. Unlike the other items, this wheel was smooth, shiny, and coral-free. Wyatt claimed he found it and gave it to Egyptian officials. However, there's a twist. No verified photos, museum tags, or reports about it have vanished. During a recent dive expedition, the team faced unsettling discoveries that questioned their findings. "This is bad news," a team member observed, feeling the weight of the situation. Their concerns went beyond the fragile artifacts. They confronted the disturbing reality of ongoing destruction at the archaeological site. Large sections of the debris zone, rich in history and potential discoveries, had been cleared or buried since Wyatt's time. Speculation arose about why this destruction was happening. Some team members believed it was due to government authorities trying to hide possibly explosive findings that could challenge accepted historical accounts. Others suspected looters were stealing valuable artifacts for personal gain, while the world remained unaware of their loss. One alarming piece of news was the absence of the legendary golden wheel, if it ever existed. Its disappearance adds to the troubling story. The rich narrative of one of history's intriguing tales seems to unravel before they can investigate it further. Doubt has started to grow. Some skeptics question whether the whole endeavor is a hoax or a quick fabrication. Scholars remain cautious, arguing that even if the artifacts are genuine, they might come from a more recent shipwreck. The waters off Aqaba, a historically significant shipping route, have seen much maritime activity over the centuries, complicating the timeline of any discoveries. Despite the skepticism, the location of the artifacts matches Wyatt's original claims, prompting the team to consider every detail as they navigate their findings carefully. Time is critical, as evidence of a potentially significant chapter in history may slip away from them.